Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are fine and fit. My dear students, previous class we learned about the development of resources and even so we learned if the human beings are going to be utilized in indiscriminate way about the resources. Are you getting now? If the human beings used the resources in discriminate way, and this has led to so many major problems. All about that we learned in the previous class. Just I would like to remember the major problems. The first thing that depletion of resources for satisfying the greed of a few individuals. This is one of the major problem. And the second thing that is about accumulation of resources in few hands. So which turn the society or the country into two major segments. That is about haves and have-nots, or poor or rich. Say. And the next thing that is about the exploitation of resources has led to, the indiscriminate use of resources. It has led so many problems such as global ecological crisis, for example, like global warming, and also the ozone layer depletion also, and environmental pollution and land degradation. So these are the major problems we are facing because of the way of the available use, the resource use. Why these are all happening? Because of we human beings, so we are not using these resources in a proper way. We are using in indiscriminate way to fulfill our requires or to get satisfaction. So, and also I told about the sustainable development, the sustainable development. So in simple word, we must use the resources, but that should take place without damaging the environment, and even develop in the present should not compromise with the needs of the future generation. How we should use no? In proper way, we should use in presently the different resources, and also we needs to be key for the next or coming generation also. They should not feel because of the scarcity of any the respective resources, whichever it may be the different resources. So we should use and we should keep for the next or coming generation also, or future generation, so that it is to called as a sustainable development. That means development should take place without damaging the environment. Development should take place. That means, yes, stop use the natural resources and just you can store for the coming not like that. The development should take place without damaging the environment, and development in the present should not compromise with the needs of the future generation. In this way, we need to be use the resources, and this used to called as a sustainable development. To achieve this and to bring awareness all over the world, the different countries are planned and they were all gathered together and they were met in Brazil in 1992 for that well known as Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit 1992. What we called this? Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit 1992. Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit 1992. See, the maximum of the countries in the month of June, more than 100 countries from different part of the world, across the world, and the heads of these, the respective states or countries heads met in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil in the month of June 1992, and which is well known as the first Earth Summit 1992. See, what purpose here? The more than 100 countries heads, they were all gathered and whatever they discussed regarding what? Whatever we discussed just now, that is about the use of natural resources. And even so, it is completely, they planned how to utilize and how to preserve for next generation. How to utilize and how to keep preserved for next generation. See, this is the which all the more than 100 states heads where they were met in Brazil in this place, Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit, which was held in June month, in the month of June 1992. This is the first international Earth Summit. So please keep in your mind, this is the first international Earth Summit. See, in this first international Earth Summit, those who are presented, especially it is all about they were convened for addressing the urgent problems of environmental protection and socio-economic development at the global level. So, in this first International Earth Summit, the presented countries they were focused on and they were addressing about the urgent problems of environmental protection is the one thing, the urgent problems, the immediate one, that is about how to protect environment, and also they were discussed and they were addressed in this first Earth Summit, that is about socio-economic development at the global level, at the global level. And here in this Earth Summit, the assembled leaders signed for the declaration on global climatic changes and biological diversity, who and all participated or conveyed In this, all the members, so all the assembled leaders, they were signed for this fact. That is about, so declaration on global declaration on global climatic change, and biological diversity. So please look here. The assembled leaders, so they were signed the Declaration on Global Climatic Change and Biological Diversity. And the Rio Convention, I mean this convention endorsed the global forest principles also. And even they were adopted Agenda 21 for achieving sustainable development in the 21st century also. So please note these 2 points. So the first thing that the assembled leaders, so they were signed for this, that is for declaration on global climatic change and biological diversity. And also in this the Rio Convention endorsed the global forest principles. The global forest principles. The global forest principles. And also they were adopted Agenda 21. Agenda 21. What is this Agenda 21? So this is actually for achieving sustainable development in the 21st century. So they were formed the agenda and it is called Agenda 21. It is well known as Agenda 21. My dear students, so please concentrate and understand the first International Earth Summit. It was held in Brazil. The name of the place Rio De Janeiro Summit, which was held in the month of June 1992, and this is the first International Earth Summit. And here in this convention, they are addressing the urgent problems of environmental protection and as well as the socio-economic development at the global level. Socio-economic development at the global level. And also the assembled leaders, they were signed for this. This is the first. That is about Declaration on Global Climatic Change and Biological Diversity. And also, so they were endorsed the global forest principles also. And even so in this Earth Summit they were adopted Agenda 21. It is well known as Agenda 21, that is for achieving sustainable development in the 21st century. Achieving sustainable development in the 21st century. Now, let us discuss about what is the significance of this Agenda 21. What is this Agenda 21? According to that, what other countries or whatever whoever the at the global level, the participated countries, what they should follow. The significance of this agenda what? So let us discuss about Agenda 21 and its significance. See, it is the declaration signed by world leaders. This is the first thing. It is the declaration signed by world leaders. World leaders means, so there are more than 100 countries heads they were convened there. All they were accepted and signed for this. And especially it's well known as UNCED. UNCED. What is this UNCED? So let us discuss. So I am talking about the significance of Agenda 21. See here, it is the declaration. It is very clear that so Agenda 21. It is the declaration signed by world leaders in 1992 at the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, which is called as a short form UNCED. That is about United Nations United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. So it is well known as UNCED. So the world leaders, the sign for this declaration at the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. See, this is also took place in the same place of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil in the same year in 1992 only. So it is the declaration by the different world leaders. So they were signed for this declaration. According to this, the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, the same held in 1992 in Brazil itself. See, what is the aim of this conference? The main aim of this conference that to achieve global sustainable development. It is the main one to achieve global sustainable development. So this is the main aim of this conference. In the same year, in the Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, so the declaration it was signed at United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, is even in the short form UNCD. The main aim of this declaration that is about to achieve global sustainable development, and also it is an agenda to combat environmental, to control environmental damage, even the poverty, disease, and as well as so avoiding all the things, and through global cooperation Uncommon interest. Are you getting now? The first thing that is about to achieve environmental, to achieve global sustainable development. It is very clear. And also, it is an agenda to combat environmental damage and poverty, disease through global cooperation. Through global cooperation and mutual needs and shared responsibilities also. Each and every other countries through cooperation they are agreed and signed to follow to even by cooperating to achieve the global sustainable development. So here the countries they were agreed and to achieve the sustainable development especially through global cooperation and also the common interest and even mutual needs and then shared responsibilities. And another one major objective of this agenda 21, it is the another one major objective. See here, every local government should draw, please keep it in your mind, this is another one important thing that is about agenda 21. So every local government, whichever it may be the different countries, the government at different level, the government at different level, that means whether state or central or local governments, see they should draw its own local agenda 21 to achieve global sustainable development. It is one of the major objective of agenda 21. Is it clear now? It is one of the major objective of agenda 21. So according to that, every local government, whichever it may be the different countries government at different level, so they should draw its own local agenda 21. For what purpose? To achieve global sustainable development. I hope, dear students, in this topic you all have understood about the Rio De Janeiro Summit, which was held in 1992 in the month of June and which was well known as the first international Earth Summit, and more than 100 countries heads they were convened and addressing urgent problems of environmental protection and as well as socio-economic development of the global at the global level also. And even the assembled leaders, already I told that, signed the declaration on global climatic changes and biological diversity also. And the Rio convention endorsed the global forest principle and adopted the agenda 21 for achieving sustainable development in the 21st century. To achieve sustainable development in the 21st century. And just now we are discussed about agenda 21. So the significance of this, see, it is the declaration signed by the world leaders in 1992 at the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, which is held in 1992 at Brazil itself, and it is well known as UNCD. See, it aims at achieving global sustainable development. The aim of the Agenda 21 to achieve the global sustainable development, and it is an agenda to combat environmental damage, poverty, diseases through global cooperation and common interest, mutual needs and shared responsibilities. And the another one major objective of this agenda 21, that each and every local government should draw its own local agenda 21. This is the significance of the agenda 21. So the we can understand at the end of this session the importance of sustainable development and to achieve the global sustainable development, how the different countries are going to be contributed and how they were participated and whatever they were taken decision to maintain environmental protection and even as well as to avoid the environmental damage and even to achieve the socio-economic development in the 21st century and on. So, dear students, I hope you all of you understood about this, the first International Earth Summit, which was held in 1992 in Brazil. And next class, we are going to discuss about resource planning. Next class, we are going to discuss about resource planning. Thank you. Have a nice day. I hope you all of you understand about the Rio de Janeiro Summit, which was held in 1992 in Brazil, and the significance of this, and even the significance of Agenda 21. And next class, we are going to discuss about resource planning. If you have any doubts, so please you can give me a call or message. Thank you. Have a nice day.